Now, the investigation into the stabbing attack on Bollywood star Saif Ali Khan has gathered pace. Times now has accessed the CCTV visuals of the suspected attacker. The time stamp on it is 2:33 a.m. Now, this man is seen on the stairs carrying a bag. Let's break down in detail as to what has happened at Saif's house at around 2 a.m. This is as far as the entry is concerned. The attacker is believed to have come in from an adjacent building. The attacker then scaled a wall to come to this building's premises, and from the parking area, the attacker is believed to have taken the stairs. There are no signs of any forced entry into Saif's house at the moment, is what we are told. Also, we know that the attacker entered the bedroom of Saif's son, is what investigators are telling us. Then on to the confrontation that took place. The house help saw the attacker and screamed at that point of time, is what we are told. Also, of course, we know that Saif Ali Khan himself came in, and the intruder then attacked Saif, stabbing him 6 times. That's the information that we're given as far as the attack itself is concerned. It is a house help who saw the attacker and then screamed, is what we're told. Now, as far as the probe itself is concerned, we're told that cops have identified the person who in fact has identified the suspected attacker, and in fact preliminary investigation suggests robbery as the motive for this attack. The lens is also on the flooring and plumbing labor who have come in earlier to work at the same residence. Cops are probing if any of the house staff had a role as far as this particular incident is concerned. This is what the police had to say on the entire incident. Listen in.
एक्टर के घर पे गया था, ऐसा इन्वेस्टिगेशन में पता चला है। एक्यूज्ड फायर एस्केप का यूज़ करके इनके घर पे गया था, ये भी पता चला है। अभी तक के इन्वेस्टिगेशन में ये एक चोरी का अटेम्प्ट था, ऐसा हमारे इन्वेस्टिगेशन में निष्पन्न हुआ है। एक्यूज्ड को जल्दी अरेस्ट करने की कोशिश हमारी चल रही है, और एक बार एक्यूज्ड अरेस्ट हो जाता है तो उसके बाद आगे के डिटेल्स ये हम आपसे डिस्क्लोज कर पाएंगे। उस एक्यूज्ड को अरेस्ट करने के लिए टीम्स फील्ड पर हैं। 10 डिटेक्शन टीम्स हैं जो अलग डायरेक्शंस में काम कर रही है।
Let's go across to Rakesh, who's joining us live at the moment from the Bandra police station. Nilesh is joining us live from the residence of Saif Ali Khan. Rakesh, I'm coming to you first. What's the latest in terms of the investigation? Any breakthroughs yet? And as far as this particular investigation is concerned, the identity of this individual is something that is still under wraps. Do we know who this individual is?
Police suspect that this could be a professional attempt, and the person could be a history sheeter, and he must have been having a very past records in different police station against him. So because they have managed to get the fingerprint records, and somewhere the sources are telling us that the fingerprint records have matched with the dubbed data, and that is a big crucial breakthrough for Mumbai police, and that is how they are claiming that they have identified the accused, and based on that different teams are formed, his locations are being traced, and the police claims that soon he will be under the arrest. So basically he is a professional thief who have made such similar attempts in the past as well, and this is not the first time that he had done so, and perhaps he wanted to go there, and he was well prepared. If he is encountered by anyone, whether it was the caretaker or Saif Ali Khan himself, he was ready with his knife to attack the person. So prima facie, police sources are telling us that this could be a history sheeter accused in this case, and that is how they claim that the person is been identified.
All right, let me take it across to Nilesh as well. Nilesh, take us through what's happening at that spot, because we are told that he has accessed this particular compound from a neighboring building. We're also told that there is near the rear entrance, some kind of tear in the netting over there. What exactly has happened, and how did this person manage to enter this place which is supposedly very secure?
Well, absolutely, and that is a primary question that we all have been asking since morning, and officials are also quite confused when it comes to how this individual was able to breach through the security measures, because this is a high secure area First, it is a very high-profile area where not just Saif Ali Khan, but various other Bollywood and TV celebs reside. So it becomes next to impossible for any layman to enter into such a high-secure area. If we just pan around our camera to show you that it is a strong gate at the entrance itself, and then later on we have a security cabin where the individual has to report, and upon registering himself, getting his biometric done, he is then connected to the tower, that is the 12th floor where Saif Ali Khan and Khan family resides. And as you can see, police officials are still on spot. Multiple teams are currently investigating through all the very possible angles. The wall that you can see behind us is the same wall that police officials suspect that this is the same building through which he could have possibly jumped into the premises, and later on gaining traction onto the stairs, he reached out to the 12th floor. However, the bigger question still remains.
Okay.
If one individual is able to make out to the 12th floor,
right,
how is it possible that he is able to break into
big questions
the door
indeed, and big questions that the police have to answer, certainly as far as the investigation is concerned, because Saif Ali Khan has sustained 6 stab wounds, including 2 deep stabs on the body, 1 close to the spine, 1 on the neck and 1 on the wrist. There was also fluid leak near the spine due to this particular attack. He was rushed to Mumbai's Leelavati hospital where a surgery was performed on him. The actors team said that Saif is out of danger and is recovering. Doctors at Leelavati have said that the surgery has been successful and that the actor has been moved to the ICU.
Mr. Saif Ali Khan was admitted in the morning at 2 a.m. at Leelavati Hospital with alleged history of assault by some unknown person. At 2 a.m. he sustained major injury to the thoracic spinal cord due to lodged knife in the spine. Surgery was performed to remove the knife and also repair the leaking spinal fluid. 2 other deep wounds on his left hand and 1 on the neck was repaired by plastic surgery team. The entire surgery was monitored by Dr. Srinivas Kudwa as a cardiologist because of his other condition. He is completely stable now. He is recovering well and out of danger.
All right, let's take this across to our guest now. Joining us with us is Dilip Tahil, actor. With us also is Emreen Anjum, who's an actress. And joining us is also former IPS officer Redana, who's with us. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us this evening. And let me start with you. Dilip Tahil, the number of incidents that have taken place in Mumbai, particularly, of course, with those associated with the film industry, whether they're linked or not, there are some questions that are being asked at this point of time. What would you say as somebody who's been associated with Bollywood for decades? Is there now a very real fear, particularly among the top celebrities, as to these kind of incidents taking place and what it says about the law and order situation there in Mumbai?
Hi, a very good evening to you, and at the outset, thank you very much for having me on your channel. At first, I would like to say that I'm very relieved, and I'm sure a lot of people are, that Saif is now out of danger and is recovering well. Let me come to the core of this problem. In the Bandra Khar area where I've spent most of my adult life, there is a racket amongst the watchmen and the people who provide security. And I'll tell you what it is. The security agencies that provide these people know fully well that most of the watchmen do double shifts. They work in the daytime and they take a night watchman job so that they can sleep on the premises. And I have confronted this in my building and several other areas where they say, "Kya kare saab, hame ghar paise bhejna." That's another story for another debate some other time. So this is very prevalent. And I don't care what you tell me about which security agencies, but this racket is very prevalent. Another thing that is happening, particularly in the Bandra and Khar suburbs, where there are a lot of night places, a lot of workers finish work late at night and sometimes cannot get back home to wherever they come from, which is places that are at a distance, the train stop. So they do deals with the night watchman to be able to spend the night on the premises, and the watchmen get money for this. These are prevalent rackets that are happening. It is far more far more visible,
shocking,
and far more prominent in the Bandra Khar area because of the kind of residences that there are and the kind of night places that there are. So, I mean, I don't want to go into this, that this is political or it is targeting the film industry. Yes, of course, because Saif is a very high-profile person, so the knowledge is quite common that he's got a good house. He lives in a very high-profile building, which ought to have foolproof security. And here I'm seeing CCTV footage of the person on your channel who's walking openly, walking down the stairs. How he got access to the building? These are all questions that, arise for the fact that, the security that we think that these people are wearing uniforms, but they have no clue. They're not qualified.
Absolutely.
People.
I mean, they're
certainly all there.
Certainly, the fact,
the
proof of the pudding is in the eating. Who would have imagined that inside one's home, one is attacked in such a secure building, and that too for a high-profile star as Saif, as you rightly said it. But let me take that question across to Mr. Redana. Mr. Redana, there are very, very serious questions about the standards of safety and security. It's one thing, of course, to talk about the police security and who needs to be, protected by them. But if, a high-profile person like this, who normally is seen with bouncers and bodyguards, during any time of the day, one would imagine that at their residence, the security measures there are foolproof. How could a thief even enter a place like this is a question that has many Indians, many fans, and certainly residents of Mumbai scratching their heads.
It is very surprising to note that how he entered. Suppose he came from the next building, jumping from the wall and all that. Take it granted that he might have come like that. How he entered the premises inside the building, there must be, suppose, fireproof, there is steps for fire escape. He might have taken that. But before entering that, there should be a wall for that. There should be a gate for that. And why it was not locked? Nobody was there?
Absolutely.
So, when it was not locked, it is very easy to go inside. So, take it granted, he came like that, nobody was there, it was not locked. He went into 11th floor or 12th floor where the actor was staying, and there should be a gate for that, for entering. There should be a main door, or without entering the main door, he cannot enter inside.
Right.
How he entered the main door? Suppose if he is not entering the main door, how he went inside the bedroom? There is very
multiple layers of questions there. I mean, even if he's a thief and he knows how to pick locks, which I certainly hope is not the case, there are still many, many questions as to why he was not countered earlier. But there's some breaking news coming in. Let's quickly, in fact, take you across to that. In fact, we are told that the cops are ready to record Saif Ali Khan's statement. That's a breaking update coming in. In fact, we have this update coming in at the moment. Cops ready to take Saif's statement after approval from doctors. So that's what the latest information coming in from inside of that investigation is concerned. Nilesh, how soon are the cops going to record his statement? Is Saif Ali Khan in a position to speak? What are the insiders and the investigators telling you? Nilesh.
Well, yes, we have been seeing that how cops since early morning have been recording statements from the security guards since morning, and one of the injured individual, that is the house helper, had also recorded her statement. She mentions her ordeal of how the situation overall unfolded, and now cops are also trying to ascertain and confirm the whole scenario with Saif Ali Khan himself, who is currently shifted to the ICU after the functioning of surgery that was done by Lilavati Hospital staff members, that is doctors. However, a clearance from the doctor is what the police officials are currently waiting for, because doctors mentioned that Saif is out of danger, he is stable, but yet he needs some kind of rest and is under medication, and by possibly tomorrow he will be in situation to speak to the police officials.
Okay.
So yes, police officials.
So statement expected to be recorded tomorrow. Let me quickly take this across to Emily Ranju, because Emily Ranju, we are now told that there is a possibility possibility, or at least this is what police sources are telling us, that Kareena, who had stepped out early in the evening, was in the house when this particular attack took place. Now, the point is that if the parents were there, the fact that Saif was able to fight off this intruder, otherwise, this raises some very, very serious questions about the safety of common citizens. Because this is perhaps the worst nightmare, that somebody can be attacked in their own home, their own place where one would imagine their own residence is safe. If it can happen to such high-profile celebrity couple, it can happen to any citizen of this country.
Yes, I believe when I had moved to Mumbai 10 years back, I used to go for a lot of late night shoots and come back at 3 in the night, and I would feel absolutely safe on the streets. But seeing the recent incidents, it feels really, really like I am scared, and I think a lot of the common citizens are scared, because with so much security, you have bodyguards, and Bandra is supposed to be a very posh place where so many celebrities are living, and still something like this can happen in such a secured colony in a celebrity's house is very, very concerning for all of us. Because if somebody can get access to your house at 2:30 in the night, when you have a trusted network of staff in the house, people would be scared to just keep maids or servants or anybody, security or bodyguards, because you never know who is the one who's actually involved in this whole racket. Like Dalip sir said, that the security system is there for our safety, but we can't even trust the security. So I would say, for the common people, it is scary, but for people in the limelight, for somebody like Saif,
there are bigger questions. There are bigger questions. But Dilip, let me ask you this. You've seen Bollywood at the 90s, where there was a peak of the underworld. Of course, there's nothing to suggest, there's no proof that this has anything to do with any of the past incidences or the recent incidences that we've seen. But the larger question that many are asking is that, are we seeing a return of that era, or is it too premature to even speculate?
No, I think that is just completely a speculation on, forgive me, on part of the media. There is absolutely not a shred of evidence that this has anything to do with what you referred. There's not a shred of evidence that this got anything to do with any politics. There is no evidence at all at this stage that anything to do with people who are organized crime has got anything to do with this. And I would request the media not to raise this bogey until there is evidence. I am telling you, it has to be looked at within the parameters and the confines of how Bombay society lives. The inside of the working of these security people who work in the buildings, the people who send these, who have the agencies that supply this security. There are cooperative housing societies, I'm sure in Saif's building as well, that decide who the security agencies are. They hire these people who are untrained. There is a big demand for security. All these guys who come and who wear uniforms and stand around in the building are people from out of town who are untrained. They have no idea what proper security is. They're just told to stand there. And this is a result of what happens. I'm telling you, it's a very important factor that they do two jobs. They work in the daytime and they take a night security job because they can sleep. And at the time that this crime has supposedly, allegedly happened, which is 2 in the morning, is their peak sleeping time. I have come back to my building, which doesn't have anywhere near the kind of security that Saif's building has. And I've had to wake up my chowkidar physically at 12:30 in the morning. And I've asked him, क्या कर रहे हो तुम? तुम सो रहे हो? साहब क्या करें? हम 2 नौकरी करनी पड़ती है. रात को हम सो जाते हैं. And I tell the security agency that sent them that this is what's happening. And they're aware of it. And they say, what can we do? So, I mean, this is the level, and from what I gather from your news channel and other news channels, is this completely seems like an inside job.
Okay.
In Bombay, the buildings are so close to each other that even from the other building, the person can easily come in, who's a professional thief. I'm trying to tell you that access, you make it sound like the access has got all this security. The security is just on the face of it. The actual people who are in the security business have very little idea of professional security.
Very, very serious questions, sir. Very, very serious questions. In fact, we have details. Sir, I'm sorry for interrupting you, because there are details of the FIR now coming in. Now, this is a very, very important point that is being made at this point of time. The Attacker demanded 1 crore rupees. These are details of the FIR that have been accessed exclusively here on Times Now. The FIR in the Saif stabbing incident, the suspect demanded 1 crore rupees is the detail that is coming in at this point of time. Now, this is the demand that is being made by the attacker. Perhaps this was the reason that he got into a scuffle with Saif, who possibly refused this. Let's quickly get in this with Nilesh. Nilesh, update on this. This is very, very serious. The attacker entering his house and demanding 1 crore rupees. Do you have more details on this?
Well, yes, and this is something that we are not saying, but the FIR, the Mumbai police has registered, speaks about the whole incident. The incident, as we earlier spoke, that the statement, the first complainant was given out by the house helper, Lima, who has given out all these details into the FIR. Lima goes on mentioning that how, at first, she was the one who witnessed the attacker reaching out to Jahangir's room, and upon confronting him, he attacked him, and later when the family member gathered, that is Saif Ali Khan gathered, he questioned like, "Aapko kya chahiye? Aap ye kyun kar rahe hain?" To which the individual, the accused, replies that "Mujhe paise chahiye, 1 crore chahiye." So this is the statement that has been recorded by police officials, and we have been stating that how it will again also be confirmed by Saif Ali Khan.
All right, and in fact there are details that the attacker also tried to take some of the family members hostage, and more details that we'll be breaking right here on Times Now. Let's also quickly show you the pictures of Arjun Kapoor arriving at Kareena Kapoor's residence. Those are the latest pictures of Arjun Kapoor arriving. Of course, he is a distant cousin of Kareena and a family member. In that sense, very, very important, because this is an incident that has clearly shaken up a lot of Bollywood big-time celebrities as well, given the stature of Saif Ali Khan and, of course, Kareena Kapoor. We'll have to slip into a very quick break. More news and updates coming in on the other side. I'd like to thank Dilip Tahil as well as Amreen Anjum and Redana for joining us this evening.